Temporarily from Castle Rock, Colorado, just south of the Mile High City, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, March 12th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.45 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,251 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $418. Antiwar.com reports a new report from the UN Human Rights Office is accusing the U.S.-backed government of South Sudan of a series of horrific war crimes in their ongoing civil war, saying it has created one of the most horrendous human rights situations in the world. Officials say that the South Sudanese government encouraged troops and their militia allies to loot private property and rape women as a way of getting out of paying them, with the UN saying they documented 1,300 rapes in Unity State alone over the course of 6 months. The United Nations said militias were told to do what you can and take what you can, and noted that civilians suspected of supporting the opposition were burned alive or hacked to pieces by troops, with torture and forced displacement being common. South Sudan became an independent state in 2011 and has loudly been endorsed by the U.S. ever since, with officials talking up a special relationship with the South Sudanese people. The nation quickly fell into civil war, however, and an increasingly bloody one.
For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the head of the Washington, D.C.-based Center on Higher Education Reform, part of the American Enterprise Institute, said the crisis rhetoric surrounding student loans is overblown, and the mounting student debt just means more people are going to college and potentially adding to the national economy. Andrew Kelly said the $1.3 trillion in unpaid student loan debt that is looming large over the country may not bring the gloom and doom some economists have predicted. He told CNBC's Power Lunch it is too soon to tell if outstanding student loans will hinder further economic recovery. Student loan borrowers have been calling for reform to the education loan system as the percentage of borrowers who are 90 days or more delinquent in payments or are in default hit 11.6%. Borrowers have called on lawmakers to make changes to the system, including lowering college costs. There have been incremental changes on a local level, but little has been done at the federal level. Many are looking to the presidential candidates to alter the course of college financing. Kelly said the number of borrowers, some 43 million people, is not the problem. Instead, the problem stems from borrowers who never finish their degree and struggle to repay their loans. Kelly said they're not the people with six-figure debts that you hear about in the front page of the New York Times. They tend to be people who have very low debts who drop out before ever earning a degree.
You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.
Reuters reports an Ohio judge ruled on Friday that teenagers celebrating their 18th birthday before the November elections are entitled to have their votes for presidential nominee counted in next week's state primary. 9 teenagers from across the state claimed in a lawsuit this week that Husted's interpretation of state law that eliminated their voting rights was incorrect. The judge said his decision affected potentially thousands of other 17-year-old voters still eager to participate at next week's presidential primary. He said no Secretary of State between 1981 and 2012 had ever adopted the reading of state law he was now overturning. Husted in December modified the state's election manual to say 17-year-olds are allowed only to nominate candidates but are prohibited from voting for presidential delegates because they are elected, not nominated, according to the lawsuit. The teenager argued Husted's interpretation contradicts state law and a previous ruling by the state Supreme Court that allows 17-year-olds who will be 18 by the election to vote in the primaries. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.